The sun was already dipping low when Jake wiped his hands on an old rag, sighing as he leaned back from under the hood of a rusted-out pickup. His small garage in a quiet Georgia town wasn't fancy, but it was honest work, and Jake liked it that way. He didn't make a lot, but what he earned came from fixing things right and treating people fair. That mattered to him more than a big paycheck ever could. He was just about to close up for the day when he heard the soft, hesitant crunch of gravel outside. A beat-up sedan rolled into the lot, its engine wheezing like it was gasping for air. The driver's door creaked open, and a woman stepped out, mid-30s maybe, with worn-out jeans, tired eyes, and a face that looked like life hadn't been kind lately. Jake walked over and gave a nod. "Something wrong with the car, Mum?" She gave a sheepish smile. "I think everything's wrong with it. It started smoking on the highway, barely made it here." Jake glanced at the engine, then back at her. "I can take a quick look. Might be something simple." She hesitated. "Before you do, I should tell you, I can't pay right now. I just got laid off, and I'm trying to get to my sister's place in Tennessee. I just didn't know where else to go." Jake looked at her for a long second, then motioned to the garage. "Pop the hood." She blinked. "But I just said I heard you. Doesn't mean I won't help." Her eyes welled up, but she blinked them clear quickly and followed him inside. An hour later, Jake had diagnosed the issue: a blown radiator hose and a cracked serpentine belt. He had spares on hand, and by the time the sun was gone, the car was purring like it hadn't in years. She stood stunned. "You really fixed it, and you're not charging me?" Jake smiled. "Just promise me you'll pay it forward someday." She nodded slowly, clearly overwhelmed. "I will. I swear I will." She drove off into the night, leaving Jake alone with the quiet hum of the cooling engine. He locked up and thought nothing more of it. Until the next morning, when he pulled into the lot, there were 3 black Mercedes, a Rolls-Royce, and 2 Teslas waiting outside his shop, all with their engines running and people in suits waiting for him. Jake froze mid-step, coffee thermos still in hand, staring at the gleaming luxury cars lined up like a scene from a Hollywood movie. The morning sun reflected off polished chrome and tinted windows, making it hard to see who sat inside. He glanced around, half expecting someone to jump out and shout prank, but no one did. The driver's door of the Rolls-Royce opened first. A man in his early 60s stepped out, dressed in a dark tailored suit with a pin that looked like it belonged to some important organization. He walked toward Jake with calm authority, flanked by 2 assistants holding tablets. "You're Jake Miller?" the man asked. Jake nodded slowly. "Yeah, that's me. What's going on?" The man extended a hand. "I'm Alan Graves, CEO of Graves Automotive Group." Jake blinked. "Wait, the Graves? The guy with dealerships all over the country?" Alan smiled, the very one. "And I'm here because of my daughter." Jake's brow furrowed. "Your daughter? She came through here yesterday. Said her car broke down and a kind mechanic fixed it for free. Said he didn't judge her, didn't ask for anything, just helped." Jake's eyes widened. "That was your daughter?" Alan nodded. "She's had a rough year. She didn't tell anyone she was heading out of town, just wanted space. But when she called me last night, she couldn't stop talking about you." Jake shifted uncomfortably. "Look, I didn't do it for attention or anything. She needed help." "That's all." Alan chuckled. "Exactly, and that's why I'm here." He stepped aside and gestured to the other cars. One by one, their doors opened and more people stepped out, executives, media reps, and what looked like a full PR team. "We're offering you a full partnership in our next auto service expansion, a share in profits, new equipment, full renovation of your garage, national spotlight. We want you to represent what this industry should stand for." Jake stared at him, stunned. "Why me?" Alan smiled. "Because you reminded my daughter that good people still exist, and because you fixed more than just a car yesterday." For a long moment, Jake didn't speak. The breeze blew softly across the lot, lifting the scent of oil and fresh gravel. He looked at the cars, the suits, the cameras all waiting on his answer. And then he looked back at his old shop, the one with the peeling paint and the hand-painted sign his dad made years ago. His voice was quiet. "I didn't expect any of this." Alan nodded. "Sometimes the world notices when you're not looking for it." Jake stood there, still gripping his thermos, trying to wrap his head around what was happening. One day he was just a small-town mechanic fixing busted hoses, and now some billionaire wanted to put his name on service centres across the country. He glanced again at the Rolls-Royce and the sharp-dressed crew waiting. Like this was all normal. But it wasn't. Not for Jake. "I appreciate it," he said slowly, his voice steady but cautious. "But I'm not sure I'm your guy. I've never run anything bigger than this garage. I'm not looking to be famous." Alan Graves stepped closer, lowering his voice. "That's exactly why you're the right guy. We've got plenty of people who know business. What we don't have are people who care the way you do." Jake looked down at his grease-stained hands. "This place, it's my dad's. He opened it after coming back from Vietnam, said he wanted to fix things because the world breaks too easy. I kept it going because I believed in that." Alan nodded. "We're not asking you to change who you are. We want to help you grow it. You'll stay right here in this shop if you like, but we'll build around you. Training programs, outreach for veterans, real, honest service with your name and values behind it." Jake's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "So it's not about turning me into a brand, it's about turning your kindness into a movement," Alan said plainly. Just then, a familiar voice called out behind them, "Jake!" He turned to see the woman from yesterday stepping out of a sleek silver Tesla, her face lit with a mix of gratitude and pride. "Dad told me you might turn this down," she said, walking up. "But I had to come. I didn't just tell him what you did, I told everyone. I posted it online last night. It's already got over 1 million views." Jake blinked. 1 million. She nodded. "People are looking for someone real, someone to believe in. You didn't just help me, you gave me hope. You deserve this." The PR rep stepped up, gently interrupting Jake. "News crews are already en route. They want to feature the story on national TV tonight. This could be bigger than anything we imagined." Jake stared at them all, this army of professionals, this woman he barely knew, the empire they were offering, and he felt the weight of it. He didn't ask for it, but maybe it was meant for him anyway. Jake stood in the center of his gravel lot, a storm of thoughts running through his head. This wasn't just about a new job or some fancy expansion. It was about his identity. He looked at the building that held decades of sweat, loss, lessons, and memories. This shop was more than a business. It was his father's legacy. He turned to the woman, Alan's daughter, whose eyes shimmered with emotion. "What's your name?" he asked gently. She smiled. "Claire," Jake nodded. "Claire, I didn't help you yesterday because I wanted anything out of it. I helped because I know what it's like to be stuck and feel like no one's coming." She stepped closer. "And that's why you're the one people need to hear from." Before he could answer, a local news van pulled into the lot, followed by 2 more from Atlanta. Reporters stepped out with cameras and mics already rolling. Jake's heart thudded. He'd never been one for the spotlight. Alan moved beside him, speaking low. "You don't have to do a thing you're not comfortable with, but these people came because the world starved for good stories. You're not just a headline, Jake. You're the kind of person that reminds people there's still decency out there." Claire touched Jake's arm. "Tell them what you told me, that you do what's right, even when no one's watching." Jake took a deep breath, then nodded slowly. A reporter stepped forward. "Jake Miller, can you share what happened yesterday?" Jake scratched the back of his neck, glancing once more at his father's old, honest repairs sign above the garage door. Then he looked straight into the camera. "I didn't do anything special. A woman's car broke down. She needed help and I fixed it. That's what my dad taught me. If you can help, you do. Not for money, not for fame. Just because it's the right thing." Silence fell over the lot. Even the reporters paused, absorbing the sincerity in his voice. Claire beamed, her eyes shining. Alan stepped forward again, this time with a thick folder in hand. Jake, this is the official partnership agreement. Take your time, look it over. We'll renovate the shop, upgrade your tools, set up scholarships for young mechanics, whatever you want. But this won't change who you are. It'll just help more people see it. Jake took the folder, still unsure but curious. The choice wasn't easy, but deep inside, something was shifting. Maybe this was bigger than him now.